In previous lecture, we have seen different Maven goals and how does it helps us to build the project. In this lecture, we are going to talk about Pom.xml. Let's see what Maven is saying about Pom.xml. I just searched for what is Pom.xml. Let's go to maven.apache.org. And if you see the definition, what is Pom.xml? A project object model or POM. The full form of POM is project object model, is the fundamental unit of work in Maven. It is an XML file that contains information about the project and configuration details used by Maven to build the project. It contains the default value of most projects, which means that it is telling about the information, what this project does do, and what is the artifact ID and version, and also configurations, some of the configurations which you need to do to execute this project. Then it also contains some default values which are required to run that project. That is how this pom.xml helps us to build our project. Let's go to pom.xml and try to understand what is the information it contains at this moment. This pom.xml we haven't written. Whenever we are creating our project, by default it got generated, and this content also came along with that one. If you remember, while creating our project, we have provided this group ID, artifact ID and version ID, right? So that is the information got updated over here. Apart from this, there is a one more field we required, that is packaging. But if you don't specify any packaging parameter, then it treat it as a jar. And that information also updated over here. Yes, you can see here default lifecycle jar packaging, which means that in case if we don't specify anything, it is going to treat it as a jar file. Next, name of the project, that is first demo project, that is the name we have given. And properties, what is the compiler we should use to build this project, that is 1.7 Maven compiler it is using. And another important field is dependencies. So in the dependencies, we need to specify what and all packages does it require to build this project. In this case, we are calling JUnit packages with the group ID, artifact ID and version. Whenever we mention these as a dependencies, it will come and update in the Maven dependencies. Apart from JUnit, you can see one more dependency which we will talk in the next lecture. But for now, the JUnit packages has been downloaded over here. Let's assume that if I remove this dependency, okay, I'm just deleting the entire dependency, and let me save this file. Okay, I just deleted the dependency and saved this file, and you can see the dependency, I mean to say Maven dependency tab got disappeared. Why? Means we haven't mentioned any dependencies in the pom.xml. That's the reason it is disappeared. Let me add it back. And if I go and refresh it, sorry, I need to save this file. And we could able to see the Maven dependencies back again because which is required. To test more efficiently, what I'm going to do, let's assume that we are calling Spring Boot dependencies. Let's assume that it requires some Spring Boot packages to run this application. If that is the case, we can add those as a dependencies. Let's call those. I'm searching as a Maven repo for Spring Boot. And if I click on this one, okay, Spring Boot starter test, let me take this one. And 2.4.3. And here you can see the code which they have specified over here is to update in the pom.xml. Let me copy this snippet and will update as a dependency. Okay, so I have updated it as a dependency and saved the file. Whenever we save, it creates or pull the packages which are there in this dependency and store in the Maven dependencies. It may take a while, and let me refresh it. Now you can see because of adding this one, it has been downloaded lot of dependencies which is required. But we just mentioned Spring Boot starter.test, right? That is Spring Boot starter.test 2.4.3. But you can see lot of dependencies also get added without specifying under dependency tab. That we are going to discuss in the next section. So let me delete it again from here to here. And let me save the file. And whatever extra packages we got, it should be disappeared. So that is how dependency will helps us. That's all for this lecture. In next lecture, we are going to see what is transitive dependencies. Thanks for watching. See you there.